Part 26. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 251. As for those powerful family forces, although my master's cultivation level is not as good as theirs. But in that battle with the Lin family, the 4 quasi-immortals killed by my family leader were enough to intimidate those major families. Moreover, 2 of the major families have been fighting openly and secretly for many years, and the other major families have no time to take care of other things. Now that the battle between the heavens is about to begin, if you distract yourself from dealing with the Xiao family, you will expose your weaknesses. Xiao Xian's voice was extremely cold, but his words made everyone in the Xiao family feel relieved. The dynasty of the heavens looks calm on the surface, but in fact it has already been undercurrent. In addition, the quasi-immortal peak in the dynasty has entered a state of transcendence. If the detachment is successful, the status quo will be maintained. Once it fails, the heavens will carry out the next shuffle. He is currently a 3rd-level quasi-immortal with 50,000 years of magical power, but the ancestor of the dynasty. It only takes 1,000 years of mana, after entering the quasi-immortal realm. Once the accumulated mana exceeds 10,000 years, it will be monitored by heaven. The punishment is as small as the natural disaster, and the punishment is after the natural disaster. If it is alive, it will continue to accumulate. If you die, your soul will be scattered. But he has 50,000 years of magic power, so it's no wonder that the eye of heaven appears to look for him. After receiving this reward, his mana will still accumulate. If he hadn't hidden his cultivation level, I'm afraid the eye of heaven would have punished him long ago. With his current strength, it is far from enough to deal with the eye of heaven. Then he continued, as for those powerful men who have come to attack the Xiao family. Presumably, at the moment when the 2 men in black died, they had already chosen to return the way they came. Even if they appear above the Xiao family's residence, this family leader has nothing to fear. As soon as he said this, a terrifying aura erupted from him. Xiao Xian smiled when he saw the appearance of everyone in the Xiao family. Now that the Xiao family's geniuses have reached a bottleneck in their cultivation, it's time to open the next secret realm. Before that, you should practice well. If you don't have enough understanding of the secret realm this time, even if I allow you to enter, you still won't be able to understand the profoundness inside. These are 50,000 enlightenment pills. Elder Xiaoji Unfeng, take it and distribute it reasonably. The Dragon and Tiger ranking will be launched next month. Hearing Xiao Xian's words, the senior members of the Xiao family couldn't help but gasp. 50,000 enlightenment pills. Everyone looked at the bottles and cans that could not be placed on the table, and their eyes were filled with excitement. With these, their strength and combat effectiveness will be improved again. I will obey the order of the master of the family, Xiaoji Unfeng said with a strong look on his face. Looking at these high-level personnel in front of me, as well as the thriving Xiao family geniuses, he looked around and couldn't help but sigh in his heart, the kingdom of the heavens. Then he didn't stay any longer and went directly back to the valley where he asked the sword. Ding, congratulations to the host for completing the mission and receiving the reward, 500 years of mana. Imperial level Kang Long Armor 1, Zhou Flame 1, Immortal Sword Technique *1, the host understands the meaning of the immortal killing sword. Emperor level Kang Long Armor, the strongest, a lifetime of fighting on the battlefield, killing decisively. It can bless the wearer with explosive power. Can withstand the fatal blow of the titled Emperor. The Flame of Zhou contains a trace of spiritual power from Taiyin Zhou, which can be quickly broken through by swallowing it. Immortal Sword Art, a sword art for a quasi-immortal strongman. After practicing it, even a transcendent person can fight with it. Hearing this voice, Xiao Xian couldn't help but smile with satisfaction. This time's reward can help those geniuses in the family make better breakthroughs. Xiao Xian then handed over the imperial-level Kanglong armor, Zhou flame, and immortal sword technique as rewards from the system. Leave it to Xiao Tianyuan, Xiao Jiangxin, and Xiao Yan. Xiao Tianyuan practices the skills of Emperor Huang Tian, and the Kanglong armor is the best for him. If the flame of turbid light is swallowed by Xiao Yan, it can help him get closer to Xiao Jiangxin and others. The immortal sword art can make Xiao Jiangxin's understanding of the sword even more refined. With the blessing of these treasures, the strength of Xiao Tianyuan, Xiao Jiangxin, and Xiao Yan has become more and more terrifying. In just 20,000 years, the three people's cultivation realm had broken through. Xiao Tianyuan is now at the 7th level of cultivation of the Great Emperor. With the blessing of Kanglong armor, his moves have huge explosive power. Xiao Jiangxin's understanding of the way of swordsmanship has also reached a terrifying state, and he even created his own set of swordsmanship. It's hard yet soft yet full of fierce murderous aura. After Xiao Yan swallowed the flame of Zhou, his cultivation level directly broke through to the 4th level of the Great Emperor. The distance from Xiao Jiangxin and others is only 2 heavens. This was unimaginable in the past. Then he waved his hand and led everyone inside. In addition, other senior members of the Xiao family have also begun to make breakthroughs in the past 20,000 years. Therefore, it was necessary to purchase it from the outside world, but the neighboring country of the Nanming dynasty was a spiritual oil country. The spiritual oil was used beneficially and became an important source of economic income for the southern Ming dynasty. Especially a country with spiritual mines and spiritual oils. In these 20,000 years, the number of exchange points has exceeded 4 million. It feels as if you move, you will be shattered to pieces. Then he began to draw a picture of the secret realm this time. More than 6,000 people from the Xiao family, including Xiao Jiangxin and others, were summoned by Xiao Xian to the back mountain. The 9 elders have now reached the pinnacle of quasi-emperors, and are only one step away from the realm of great emperors. At the same time, surrounded by everyone in the Xiao family, and the Nanming dynasty did not rest for these 20,000 years. Xiao Xian is also preparing to explore a new secret realm. After 20,000 years of experience, the Xiao family's genius has greatly improved in strength and combat effectiveness. Many neighboring countries began to devour each other, and some larger countries aggressively engulfed smaller countries. Because of the Lin family's battle, the Nanming dynasty completely came into people's sight. In just 20,000 years after Xiao Qingyun's annexation, the Dao Demon War was the first war in the prehistoric era and the first immeasurable calamity. The feeling of being crushed by a boulder and being targeted by countless powerful men. This trip to the secret realm, the battle between Tao and Demon, Xiao Xian's voice came slowly. After several previous explorations of the secret realm, they could not wait to enter the secret realm this time. Therefore, Xiao Qingyun temporarily gave up the idea of annexation. Therefore, Xiao Xian directly set his sights on the Dao Demon War. When the Nanming dynasty re-entered the WDO, these countries had ceased war. Spiritual oil is a type of spiritual energy that can be mined. It may be indispensable in refining elixirs and forging weapons. After 100 years of painting, the battle between Tao and Demon was finally completed. Although there is a spiritual mine in the Xiao family's residence, spiritual oil is extremely rare. The lowest level of cultivation in the family has broken through to the level of Dao Slayer King. This time, the scene made them feel deeply oppressed. This shows how precious these treasures are. The war launched by the Lin family this time gave her a chance. At this time, everyone in the Xiao family just felt eager to give it a try. Xiao Xian naturally saw everyone's expressions. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 252. It's actually a golden dragon. A living golden dragon, everyone in the Xiao family couldn't help but exclaimed in horror. In the picture, a golden nine-clawed golden dragon shuttles between heaven and earth. The golden light on its body is dazzling, and the golden dragon exudes terrifying pressure. A dragon roar sounded, and the nine-clawed golden dragon soared into the sky and then sank into the sea. Immediately afterwards, in another scene, a strange bird with a chicken head, a swallow's jaw, a snake's neck, a turtle's back, a fish's tail, 5 colors, and a height of about 6 feet appeared. Everyone looked at the strange bird with doubts on their faces. Even if they searched their minds for knowledge, they could not find the answer. At this time, Xiao Xian's explanation came in time. This bird is called phoenix, and it is derived from the 5 elements of metal, wood, water, fire, and earth, together with the ancestral dragon and the first unicorn. Everyone in the Xiao family couldn't help but be horrified and couldn't speak for a long time. The 5 elements can actually give birth to such a powerful beast. Master, is that the first Kylin? Xiao Yan pointed to the collection of lion's head, antlers, tiger's eyes, elk's body, and dragon scales in front of him. The ox's tail is in one body, the tail is hairy like a dragon's tail and has a horn with flesh on it. Xiao Xian nodded, then waved his hand, and the scene in front of him froze. After the great power of Kaishan died, the 5 elements gave birth to the ancestral dragon, the Yuanfeng, and the first Kylin. The 3 mythical beasts each multiplied and grew stronger, and started fighting with the ferocious beasts on the ancient continent. In the end, they won, and since then, the prehistoric continent has been ruled by 3 great beasts. The ancestral dragon of the ancient world is the head of the ancient scale armor, and controls the 4 seas on behalf of heaven. Linzu, the leader of the wild beasts, controls the vast land on behalf of heaven. The phoenix ancestor of the prehistoric world was the head of the birds in the prehistoric world, and controlled the sky of the prehistoric world on behalf of heaven. 3 tribes are fighting for hegemony, and they all want to annex the other 2 tribes to make their own race stronger. Boundless killings continue to spread in the wilderness. Immediately afterwards, Xiao Xian waved his hand, and the frozen scene began to change rapidly. From the birth of mythical beasts to joining forces to deal with vicious beasts, we create a peaceful era for the ancient world. When the 3 clans were established and the 3 clans stood in harmony, everything dazzled everyone in the Xiao family and shocked their hearts. Especially the strength of Zilong made them unable to control themselves for a long time. The existing true dragons in the heavens are simply not even 1,000th of their size. You must know that the dragon clan that can evolve the blood of the ancient true dragon is already the ceiling of the world. Not to mention the ancestral dragon from the prehistoric era. That is pure blood. Just when everyone was immersed in shock and unable to extricate themselves, there was a sound of fighting in the sky. I saw the heads of the Zilong and Yuanfeng clans gathered together, looking down at Shi Kylin on the ground. The 2 joined forces to massacre the first Kylin on the earth. Dragons are physically powerful and almost invincible in melee combat. The Phoenix clan was reborn from the ashes, becoming more and more brave as they fought. On the other hand, the Kylin clan, in addition to having many clans, is far inferior to the 2 clans in terms of ability and combat effectiveness. After many rounds of battles, the Kylin clan was almost wiped out. However, just when everyone thought that the 2 tribes were going to divide the world equally, the Dragon and Phoenix tribes once again launched a massacre. Everyone in the Xiao family was so horrified that they could not speak. Facing such a powerful opponent, the Dragon and Phoenix clan sneered. Use the strength of the whole clan to eliminate the opponent quickly. You little bastard, our Dragon clan will use all our strength to eradicate the danger for you. And you actually want to get rid of my Dragon clan. If I hadn't noticed it earlier, I might have become your prisoner. The dragon leader hovered in the sky angrily. The terrifying dragon power suffocated everyone in the Xiao family. The leader of the Phoenix clan was burning with blazing fire, and he just let out a light chirp. You are really just a bastard, and you turned around and framed this phoenix. How can you endure such humiliation? For a time, countless dragons started fighting in the sky. Dragon blood exuding golden light, phoenix essence blood with blazing flame power. It spread across the entire ancient land, making everyone in the Xiao family extremely jealous. They can't wait to integrate themselves into this land. Soon, as the two clans fought, the Dragon and Phoenix clans suffered heavy casualties. For a time, the vast land was littered with corpses. However, everyone in the Xiao family noticed something different. Master, the Zilong and Yuanfeng clans are fighting. I'm afraid there is something hidden, Xiao Tianyuan said with a solemn expression. Xiao Jiangxin agreed, yes, I'm afraid I was instigated by someone. As the king of a country, Xiao Qingyuan looks at things more deeply than they do. Every one of the Dragon and Phoenix clans are arrogant people. They are afraid that after being instigated by others. After hearing the words of the two clans, I felt that I had been wronged, so the war started completely. Xiao Xian nodded when he heard this and showed admiration to the three of them. Then he pointed toward the top of the sky and saw a black shadow shaking above the clouds. If you don't look carefully, you just think it is a dark cloud. When the screen was zoomed in, everyone realized that it was actually a person. This is it, everyone in the Xiao family exclaimed. Xiao's Haiqiu felt a strong sense of intimacy in him. That's the blood between villains and villains. And compared with that person, he is nothing worth mentioning. This person's name is Rehu. He lives in seclusion in Mount Sumeru. He achieves the Tao through killing and is not bound by the Tao. Devoting oneself to desires and doing whatever one wants, but in the prehistoric era when powerful powers emerged in endlessly. He could only choose to be patient. After finding the 12th grade world-destroying Black Lotus, he instigated a fight among the three clans. Then he used the aura of the wild land of the west and the resentment of the essence and blood of the three tribes to reopen the seal under Mount Sumi. After refining the immortal killing sword formation, his murderous aura soared into the sky, and then he established the demonic sex Taoist lineage, including the four demons of Wuxin, Wuxiang, Lawless, and Wushan. Everyone was shocked again. To prove the way through killing, it is not restricted by the way of heaven. What a powerful existence this must be. Xiao Xian said, pointing his finger. Everyone looked sideways and were suddenly shocked. Yuan Feng leads the Yu clan in the world and has huge power. With the addition of the demon master Kun Peng. With the help of Luo Hu, the head of the ancestral dragon was finally forced to the Taiyan star. In the picture, Kun Peng and Yuan Feng are standing side by side. Yuan Feng looked at the seriously injured ancestral dragon head, his face showing the pleasure of victory. Xiao Long, you think you are powerful and invincible, but it's a pity that you met me. If you can die in my hands, it is a well-deserved death. Then he raised his head to the sky and roared, and a blazing flame instantly burned the severely injured ancestral dragon. When Xiao Long was about to die, he actually chose to die together to find a way for his descendants to survive. From then on, the ancestral dragon remained in the sea and never appeared again. In this battle, Yuan Feng won a complete victory. Fuxi, who was close to Zilong, couldn't bear Zilong being besieged, so he also joined the war. Zilong was defeated, and Fuxi was also driven to the wild land of the west by Kun Peng. The faces of everyone in the Xiao family suddenly became extremely solemn, and their eyes were filled with intense fire. I wish I could go up and kill this Kun Peng right now. However, what they feared still happened. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 253. With the help of Kun Peng, demon ancestor Luohu finally came out of seclusion. The devil is born, and the demons dance wildly. Demon ancestor Luohu proves his way by killing, and wants to kill everyone in the world. Under his leadership, countless mythical beasts and monsters died at the hands of the devil. The prehistoric land is a sea of blood, the vitality is soaring into the sky, the killings are endless, and the murderous intent is soaring to the sky. However, after the demonic path came out of seclusion, Yuan Feng was the first to attack. Although Yuan Feng commanded the Feather Clan in the world, he was defeated by the devil and finally escaped with the survivors who had only a trace of phoenix blood. Everyone in the Xiao family watched with excitement and wanted to join the demon-killing team. Cut the demon ancestor Luohu into pieces with 1,000 swords. For his own selfish interests, he did not hesitate to turn the entire ancient world upside down and turn the blood into rivers. The abominable demon ancestor Rahu should be cut into pieces by 1,000 swords. If it weren't for his instigation, how could the three tribes fight with each other? This would lead to the decline of the three tribes. Everyone in the Xiao family started talking with indignation. Xiao Xian remained silent about this. Even if demon ancestor Rahu didn't instigate it, could this war have been avoided? He. Xiao Xian waved his hand and the screen moved quickly. In the picture in front of me, all the great powers of the ancient world, including Nuwa, the goddess of creation, Emperor Jun, the demon emperor, and Tai, the eastern emperor. Everyone gathered in front of ancestor Hung Jun, hoping that he could help and eradicate demon ancestor Luohu. It doesn't matter if Rahu is not eradicated and his murderous intent is not extinguished, I will seek peace for the world. Seeing this, everyone in the Xiao family couldn't help but sigh at the great and selfless love of Patriarch Hung Jun. Ancestor Hung Jun is worthy of being a saint of heaven, and he is actually willing to sacrifice his life to help the great emperor out of trouble. It's no wonder that in the previous secret realm, he was the strongest existence in the world. Everyone in the Xiao family kept talking about the ancestor Hung Jun, and their words were full of admiration. Xiao Xian's voice sounded at this moment. At this time, Patriarch Hung Jun has not yet become a saint. He belongs to Hunyuan de Luo Jingxian, and is on par with Luo Hu. If two people fight, one of them will die. The reason why they take action is because the jade butterfly has a warning. Because jade butterfly opened the sky, its Tao principles were incomplete. If you want to complete the Tao principles, you need to add the demonic principle of Rahu, otherwise your cultivation will stagnate. Luo Hu also feels that the way of heaven is competing with Hung Jun's lineage. The winner will surely achieve the status of saint. Hiss. Everyone couldn't help but gasp when they heard this. Even Taoist Hung Jun was attracted to becoming a saint, which shows how powerful it is to become a saint. Even Xiao Tianyuan, who didn't care about anything external to him, couldn't help but secretly think about the power of becoming a saint at this moment. And at this time, Taoist Hung Jun has led his disciples to Mount Sumeru to fight against demon ancestor Rahu. In order to prove themselves as Hunyuan saints with their great merits, Taoist Hung Jun and demon ancestor Luohu first faced off alone in the formation. Hung Jun held the jade plate of creation in his hand, and was reincarnated as the chaos demon god, and realized that there are many supreme supernatural powers. The demons were defeated steadily, and the four demon kings could not stop him even if they joined forces. The demon kings had no choice but to call out the demon ancestor. After Luohu came out, he looked at Hung Jun with disdain in his eyes. I wonder who it is. It turned out to be a cricket that turned into a spirit, then he threw his head back and left. Hung Jun was furious. Luohu, you have insulted me too much. I will never let go of you. After saying that, he used the jade butterfly to protect himself, and then he had magical power and Luohu started fighting. The two fought for hundreds of rounds. Due to the power of Luohu's magic weapon, Hung Jun gradually became exhausted. The demon lord under demon ancestor Luohu even spoke wildly to ancestor Hung Jun, humiliating him endlessly. Aren't you, Taoist Hung Jun, the most powerful person in history? What? This statement is false. Old Taoist, I think you should blow yourself up. In this case, it can be said that you were killed by my demon ancestor. That's right, otherwise I won't die, but it will be a huge loss to you. If I were you, I would have chosen to live in seclusion and not see anyone else. After all, I have no shame. Hung Jun was angry, but he couldn't do anything to Luo Ho, so he decided to retreat. Turning his eyes, his plan came to mind. He shouted, "Luo Hu, look at my magic weapon." Luo Ho subconsciously urged his subordinates to protect themselves with the world-destroying Black Lotus. Unexpectedly, Hung Jun was not a man of martial ethics. Zhao Huahong escaped, and Luo Ho was so angry that he shouted, "A common man from Hung Jun, how shameless." Everyone in the Xiao family was shocked when they saw this scene. Demon ancestor Rahu is so powerful. Any innate spiritual treasure from Taoist Hung Jun can turn the world upside down. Yes, not only was he unscathed, he even knocked back Taoist Hung Jun. No wonder he is not restricted by heaven. Even Daozu Hung Jun had to resort to tactics to retreat in front of him. There is a feeling that dark clouds are overwhelming the city. Everyone in the Xiao family was deeply shocked by this scene, and their blood boiled deep in their hearts. "Master, is there no one who can punish demon ancestor Rahu?" The Xiao family waved their hands, and the scenes in front of them moved quickly. Ancestor Hung Jun invited 4 more people, Great Immortal Yang Mei, Ancestor Yin Yang, and Ancestor Qin. When everyone in the Xiao family saw this, they were even more indignant. Under the leadership of Hung Jun Daozu, the demon clan and the human clan are determined to defend the ancient land to the death. Join hands with the disciples to go to Mount Sumeru to fight demon ancestor Rahu, and together they will defeat the immortal killing sword formation. Ancestor Hung Jun mainly attacks the sword sect of killing immortals, Immortal Yang Mei mainly attacks the sword sect of killing immortals. They surrounded Mount Sumeru, headed by Taoist Hung Jun. Suppress the immortal slaying formation of demon ancestor Rahu, and eliminate all the demon lords under demon ancestor Luahu. Not even Dao ancestor Hung Jun can cause harm to it, and the innate spiritual treasure is like a mortal thing. Everyone in the Xiao family is extremely anxious, and they all want to contribute to the Dao demon war. Tens of thousands of troops pressed upon the city, and soldiers came to the city gates. However, although Wuxian was seriously injured, he still escaped the moment Dong Huangtai relaxed his vigilance. The ancestors of Yin and Yang mainly attacked the immortal sword gate, and the ancestors of Qin mainly attacked the immortal sword gate. Today, Dao ancestor has received mercy from heaven. He is willing to use his body to become the manifestation of heaven's Dao, summon many great powers, and break the immortal killing sword formation again. Then Xiao Xian pointed out. However, all this angered Dong Huangtai, who became a disciple of Hung Jun Daozu. And the Zuxian sword formation was protected by Luo Hu's great cultivation, so not only was there no damage at all. Daozu Hung Jun, who was practicing, suddenly felt something. He closed his eyes and fell into realization. It's absolutely terrifying. It seems like it's so close, yet so far away. The sun finally shines on the earth, and at the same time, heaven sheds a golden light. I saw that above the sky, the black demonic energy that originally enveloped the entire prehistoric land dissipated. How dare you humiliate my master like this, you damn demons! Look how I will exterminate you. For a moment, his murderous intent became even worse. Everyone looked sideways and saw Mount Sumeru. Dong Huangtai went to the Qin palace of Qin cult leader and stole the most precious chaos bell. He also devoured all the monsters brought by Dong Huangtai. Xiao Xian looked at the picture thoughtfully, and a certain figure flashed in his mind. It's like being in it, fighting against the demon ancestor Rahu. With a pull of his hands, the picture instantly zoomed in before his eyes. Master, is heaven really just going to let him go? Demon ancestor Rahu lost all his conscience, slaughtered many mythical beasts and creatures, and made rivers of blood flow in the wilderness. No one can get rid of him. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 254. I saw Luohu operating the immortal killing sword formation, and the powerful sword intent instantly severely damaged Patriarch Yin Yang, Patriarch Qian Kun, and Patriarch Yang Mei. Ancestor Hung Jun was protected from harm because of the protection of Heavenly Dao King Yun. This scene shocked everyone in the Xiao family. This sword formation is so powerful. Xiao Tianyun recalled something important. The clan protecting formation at the family station was none other than the Zuxian sword formation. Thinking of this, Xiao Tianyun couldn't help but widen his eyes in shock. His eyes were full of disbelief. What is the relationship between third uncle and demon ancestor Rehu? Why does he actually know how to kill the immortal sword array? The ancestors of Yin Yang and Qian Kun are forced to have no choice but to continue to drag on. Not to mention whether the Zuxian sword formation can be broken or not, even their entire group has to answer here. Therefore, the two of them looked at Ancestor Qinqin and Ancestor Hung Jun and shouted loudly. Fellow Taoist Hung Jun, fellow Taoist Qinqin, I leave the matter of eliminating demons and defending the Dao to you. Boom. A huge force exploded instantly, and boundless pressure swept across all directions. Boom. At that moment, both sword gates of the Zuxian sword formation were shattered. The boundless sword intent ravaged their bodies, and after the thick smoke, there was not even a wreckage. Seeing being forced to do nothing, the ancestors of Yin and Yang and the ancestors of Qinqin chose to self-destruct their souls to crack the sword gate. Everyone couldn't help but exclaimed, Ancestor! Ancestor! Luo, who originally thought that he could easily take down the 4 Hunyuan de Luo Jinxian. Not only was the sword gate broken, but he himself was seriously injured, and he was immediately furious. What a soul self-destruction! In order to eradicate me, he even did not hesitate to self-destruct. Humph! I want to see what you are capable of. Old Master Hung Jun, you were no match for me last time, and you will be no different this time even if you ask for help. After saying that, he maximized the attack power of the remaining 2 sword gates. Seeing this, Patriarch Yang Mei stepped forward to fight fiercely with Luohu. Ancestor Hung Jun took this opportunity to sacrifice his good corpse, evil corpse, and holding corpse. The good corpse sacrificed the Qinqin cauldron to suppress the killing sword sect. The evil corpse sacrificed the Tai Chi diagram to suppress the immortal sword gate. He held the corpse and sacrificed it to the jade dish of good fortune to suppress the immortal killing sword sect. And Tiandao King Yun suppressed the Zuxian sword sect. When Ancestor Yang Mei was fighting against Demon Ancestor Luohu, he was also severely injured by him. Ancestor Hung Jun knew that he only had one chance. Now that Demon Ancestor Rehu is seriously injured, and Ancestor Yang Mei is pestering him, he cannot be distracted. He took the opportunity to take down the 4 swords of Zhu Xian, and the 4 swords of Zhu Xian were gone. As a result, the Zuxian sword formation was broken, and Demon Ancestor Luohu lost his greatest reliance. The Zuxian sword formation was broken, and Demon Ancestor Luohu was furious. Pointing to the sky angrily, what a way of heaven, what a way to slay demons and protect the way. My killing to prove the way is an unforgivable evil. Just because there is too much blood on my hands. Ha 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 ha. What about the right path? They don't have anything in their hands. What is righteousness? What is evil? Doing evil things while wearing the skin of justice? Knowing that it is evil, but carrying out a massacre for one's own selfish interests, is this right? I am just following the practice method of my original mind. But he was spurned by the world and targeted by heaven. Since you won't let me stay, why should you let me fight for the position of saint? Luohu sneered again and again, with unwillingness, humiliation, and resentment in his eyes, but more importantly, resentment. Then he glanced coldly at everyone present, and even stayed in the direction of everyone in the Xiao family for a moment. Even for just 1 second, everyone in the Xiao family thought that the god of death could see them. The Buddha is not me, so why should he save me? God has not helped me, why should I ask? What is good and evil, what is right and evil? Those who speak arrogantly do nothing wrong in their lives. Do evil people never have good intentions? I saw him swearing to the way of heaven, the great road is above, I, Rahua, make an oath to the great road. From then on, the demon rises and the Tao disappears. Every time the Tao rises, the demon grows taller. The demonic Tao stands. The scene paused at this point, and Xiao Xian was seen looking thoughtfully at Luohu with an unwilling look on his face. Then he said calmly, Luohu is the pinnacle of quasi-sage power, and he has directly transcended the way of heaven. I swore to the great Dao, and immediately felt the great Dao, and the demonic Dao was established, and a 36-layered demonic tower descended. It is the treasure that establishes the path of the devil, suppresses the destiny of the devil, and is the innate treasure. The devil complements the way of heaven. When practitioners of later generations make breakthroughs, they are more likely to be invaded by inner demons. Those who cannot overcome it will become obsessed with it, and thousands of years of Taoism will be lost in one day. During this struggle, Rahu also caused the mainland veins of the western continent to explode. The violent energy destroyed all the best paradises in the western continent. The whereabouts of his 12th grade world-destroying Black Lotus are unknown, and the Yangmei patriarch has retired. Ancestor Hung Jun understood the secrets of the great Dao in the creation of jade butterflies, and merged with the three corpses to become the first heavenly saint in the ancient world. Hearing this, everyone was shocked and horrified. Rahu is so powerful. You can even swear an oath beyond the realm of heaven. They couldn't imagine what kind of terrifying and powerful man this was. They were shocked and absorbed insights at the same time. A satisfied smile appeared on Xiao Xian's lips. These geniuses of the Xiao family learned a lot from the battle between ancestor Hung Jun and demon ancestor Luohu. The cultivation levels of Xiao Tianyuan, Xiao Jiangxin, and others have begun to break through. Especially the combat power is increasing visibly to the naked eye. Even the other geniuses behind him have learned a lot. Some even broke through 2 realms. Seeing this, Xiao Xian was almost certain that after the Xiao family's genius went out this time, regardless of cultivation, strength, and combat effectiveness, there will be a huge breakthrough. Of course, his rewards are also extremely generous. Just when everyone was still immersed in the horror of Luohu and Hung Jun Daezu, they have appeared on the top of a huge mountain. This is the birthplace of the 3 mythical beasts, dragon, phoenix, and unicorn. Taoist Hung Jun has penetrated the mysteries of the Great Road and left a great opportunity. If he can obtain it, it will be a great blessing to oneself. Although the demon ancestor Rahu is the leader of the demon sect, but his strength is almost the same as that of Taoist Hung Jun. What's more, the way of heaven is also completed because of him. As for whether you can obtain these great opportunities, it depends on your own destiny. Xiao Xian's voice came slowly, making everyone in the Xiao family excited. The battle between Dao and demon is over, but this is the battle between saints, between Patriarch Hung Jun and demon ancestor Luohu. But it always remains in their hearts. Similarly, the oath that demon ancestor Rahu made before his death also shocked their hearts. For a moment, I couldn't help but think about what is good and what is evil. Thinking of this, a sense of melancholy filled their hearts. Xiao Tianyuan was the first to hold back. Uncle Xian, what is righteousness and what is evil? What is good? What is falsehood? Although everyone in the Xiao family said nothing, they looked at Xiao Xian intently, waiting for a reply from him. Xiao Xian looked at the expressions of everyone in the Xiao family and naturally knew what they were thinking. Or perhaps it could be said that demon ancestor Luohu's look put a demonic barrier on everyone in the Xiao family. If the demonic obstacle is not removed, even if this exploration of the secret realm brings great blessings, it will be nothing more than an exploration. Rehu, Arehu, you are really the same as before. Even Xiao Xian himself didn't think there was anything wrong with this idea. Then he said indifferently, the so-called justice and evil are just a matter of stance. Just like teammates and opponents in the arena, there is no need for hatred or guilt. But since you have chosen the camp, play well and try not to be a pig teammate. There is no absolute between good and evil. Killing everyone in the world for the one you love is not evil. Killing your loved one for everyone in the world is not righteous either. Good and evil are just a secular scale, what is right and what is wrong, what is right and what is wrong. The minority obeys the majority. It is not necessarily wrong for demon ancestor Rehu to prove his way through killing. It is not necessarily right for Patriarch Hung Jun to prove the Tao with his own body for the people of the world. There is no right or wrong in the world. It's just the human heart. Those who follow you will be righteous, and those who go against you will perish. This is also the survival law of the strong. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 255. When everyone in the Xiao family heard this, they didn't know how to express themselves. At this moment, they also had another realization about good and evil. Recalling everything from the establishment of the Xiao family to the present, aren't they also on the evil side? There is no fixed theory of good and evil, it is just based on one's own judgment. The powerful family power and sect view the Xiao family as evil. The Xiao family treats those who bully and attack them as evil. Good and evil are just positions. Following Xiao Xian's wave, everyone in the Xiao family also filed in to search for opportunities. No matter what state the Xiao family will be in the future, where will the head of the family stand? They will not change, for the Xiao family, for the family head, and for the enemy of the world. This time, Xiao Xian spent a full 4 million exchange points to set up the battle between Dao and Demon. Most of it was spent on the battle between Ancestor Hung Jun and Demon Ancestor Luahu. 4 million redemption points, the exchanged Dao Demon battle venue, what opportunities are there? Even Xiao Xian didn't know it, but for the Xiao family's genius, this time was an excellent opportunity for advancement. In addition to improving combat effectiveness and cultivation, the Dao Demon War also has the ability to sublimate the soul. But this depends on their own understanding. Looking at the place where Demon Ancestor Luahu died, Xiao Xian's eyes revealed a complicated look. Those words lingered in my mind for a long time. For a moment, he exuded an aura of desolation and loneliness. Xiao Qingyun is not in a hurry to look for opportunities. The bigger the opportunity, the better. The more it is related to a person's luck, or an inconspicuous grass, it is what others will look for throughout their lives. Therefore, she could clearly feel the aura emanating from Xiao Xian. As the reincarnated empress, although I don't know what Xiao Xian experienced in the prehistoric world. But what she was sure of was Xiao Xian's situation at that time. Demon Ancestor Rehu is indeed heinous, but from his standpoint, it is just a means of survival. How about you? Why were you targeted by the right path back then and why did you come here? In that era of rampage, with his strength, who was defeated by him? Ancestor Hung Jun is the incarnation of heavenly Dao. Such a powerful being also calls him Taoist friend. It shows how terrifying his strength is, but why would such a powerful person be targeted by others? Perhaps it's because he is too powerful, so powerful that he has offended those decent people. So much so that they didn't hesitate to join forces to eradicate him. Otherwise, I really can't think of any reason. There will be someone who can kill such a powerful being, who can't even break through the mystery of the womb. But, even if he breaks through the mystery of the womb and returns to the peak of strength, if he can really return to that world, how will he face those people? Revenge. Let go of grudges with a smile. What will he do? Thinking of this, Xiao Qingyun stopped staying and headed directly towards the venue of the Dao demon battle. No matter what he faces after breaking through the mystery in the womb, she will do her best to support him. Before that, she must strengthen herself and make herself stronger. More than 6,000 members of the Xiao family entered the venue where the Dao demon battle was filled with murderous energy. Xiao Xian swept across all directions, and the entire field of Dao demon war was under his eyes. The birthplace of the demon ancestor Rehu. Xiao's Haiqiu searched carefully here because Luohu was a villain. Most of the Xiao family members are somewhat resistant to this, and only a few of them come here. Therefore, the opportunities here are extremely rich. When I entered the library pavilion before, I read books related to demon ancestor Rehu. Among them, it is recorded that demon ancestor Rehu, demon ancestor Luohu and ancestor Hongjun are both innate demon gods. In some aspects, he is even more powerful than ancestor Hongjun, but unfortunately he went crazy while cultivating the heavenly saint. He also founded the path of demons and became the ancestor of all demons, and he had a god-killing spear. Not only does it have super combat power, it can even kill the enemy's soul. If there is such a gun. The gap between me and the other geniuses of the Xiao family is only one step away. Then he looked at the bright light in the black mist, and felt vaguely that there was what he wanted inside. But the demonic obstacles permeating the black mist can make people go crazy. If you don't have a rock-like heart or a magnanimous mind, you will never recover once you enter. Thinking of this, Xiao Jiangxin looked at the core of the Zuxian sword formation. Hundreds of years passed, and suddenly, Xiao Jiangxin's sword heart was touched. It still contains such powerful sword power. It gives people the feeling of being watched by countless eyes. What a powerful demonic barrier. If I have even the slightest obsession in my heart, it will become the trigger for me to become a demon. There was a bright light in his eyes, like a hungry wolf seeing a delicious fat sheep. Xiao Jiangxin couldn't help but sigh. Whenever you fight against other children of luck, as long as you win the opponent, you can get the opponent's luck. It can be said that a gentleman is magnanimous, so he will not be affected even if he enters a demonic barrier. Found it? If I could get deep into the core of the Zuxian sword formation, my swordsmanship might undergo a qualitative transformation. For a moment, the eyes were instantly occupied by the light of excitement. At the same time, just like a shriveled sponge meeting the sea, Xiao's Haiqiu looked at the forbidden land. As a natural swordsman, Xiao Jiangxin possesses a sword heart and is obsessed with the way of swordsmanship. I saw him stepping forward quickly, and the demonic barrier condensed into substance, like spiritual energy in front of him. Xiao Jiangxin is also slowly coming here. But Xiao's Haiqiu is an exception. As the son of the villain Fate, he is an exception. The place where the demon ancestor Rehu was born, although there are demonic obstacles that make people lose their mind. But it is also the area where the Zuxian sword formation is sealed. As the saying goes, wealth can be found in danger. Relying on his instinctive sense of the sword's intention, Xiao Jiangxin quickly found the Zuxian sword formation. Brother Xiao's Haiqiu is indeed a son of villain destiny. Entering such an area feels like returning home. Even the spur of the swords will make him excited. Even if he enters such an area in person, he will inevitably be affected by it. Even when faced with the raging sword intent of the Zuxian sword formation, he moved forward without hesitation. Xiao's Haiqiu walked directly towards the bright light. The deeper you go, the more terrifying the sword's intent becomes, and the more places on your body you get. When Xiao Xian saw this, he couldn't help but exclaimed, "The villain Fate's son is indeed not a cover-up." He knew that as long as he entered the core of the Zuxian sword formation, he would be able to find his own opportunity. If I can practice here for 10,000 years, my understanding of the sword will be even higher. But none of these can extinguish Xiao Jiangxin's strong thirst for knowledge about the way of swordsmanship. Just a hint of the sword intent of the immortal killing sword formation is so terrifying. After such a long time, The special feeling for kendo in his heart told him that here was what he wanted most. The luck of a villain like Luo, who is an excellent opportunity for promotion for him. What a powerful sword! Even a trace of spiritual power can shock my mind. It's no wonder he can go to the deepest point without any worries. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 256. He moved, although his spells were restricted here. But their movement speed still did not slow down, when they saw the red light. Xiao Jiangxin's eyes flashed with surprise, and then he quickly caught up. At this moment, a flash of red light suddenly appeared in the Zuxian sword formation. Red light was suspended in the air, and the boundless breath of killing continued to wreak havoc around them. What a powerful killing spirit! Xiao Jiangxin jumped into the air and held the red light in his hand. The Zuxian sword formation is composed of 4 divine swords: the Zuxian sword, the immortal killing sword, the immortal trapping sword, and the absolute immortal sword. Killing the immortal is powerful, killing the immortal is dead, trapping the immortal glows red, and the ultimate immortal has endless changes. This sword not only has the killing aura of the immortal killing sword, but also emits red light. I guess it is the immortal trapping sword that has gathered the killing energy of the immortal killing sword. With this divine sword, my strength will increase greatly again. Even swordsmanship will become more refined. The corners of Xiao Jiangxin's mouth curved into a perfect arc, and then he began to realize the sword's meaning brought by this sword. But in the meantime, he needed to find out what made him feel like he was being watched by countless people. Where does it come from? It's like the sense of oppression brought by the realm of spiritual consciousness. The realm of spiritual consciousness. Xiao Jiangxin murmured to himself, and then suddenly realized. Immediately afterwards, he began to enter into enlightenment. At the same time, Xiao Qingyun headed towards the place where Taoist Hung Jun understood the Taoism contained in the jade dish of creation. Since he is a saint of heaven, he has his own aura of heaven hidden within him. If she can absorb it and comprehend it, not only will her strength be able to achieve a breakthrough. Even the Nanming dynasty will make a breakthrough in this exploration of the secret realm. Finally, after 100 years of searching, he came to a cave world that radiated golden light. Is this the place where Taoist Hung Jun achieved enlightenment? Xiao Qingyun looked at the futon in front of him, and then slowly sat on it. Her eyes were full of desire for power, and then she slowly closed her eyes. I didn't expect that this great opportunity would be found by Xiao Qingyun. Xiao Xian could see at a glance what kind of opportunity Xiao Qingyun had gotten this time, and his eyes showed full of appreciation. 300 years later, Xiao Qingyun slowly opened his eyes, a joyful excitement revealed. Although it is just a ray of black and yellow energy, if it is integrated into the physical body or even a magic weapon, it will become an undefeated myth. The Xian Huang Qi was originally a wonderful thing that was born at the beginning of the world. Once it is integrated into a weapon, defense will reach an unprecedented level. Moreover, Xian Huang Qi also has the function of stabilizing the world and cultivating the strongest immortal body. Xiao Qingyun's cultivation techniques can be helped even with the help of Haoshan God's cultivation techniques. If you want to compete with other big forces later on, you are still a little behind. Before her level of strength is not enough to maintain the Nanming dynasty, she must have Xian Huang Qi to stabilize it. Even if she is designated by the aura of heaven, it does not mean that the Nanming dynasty must be hers. It's a pity that although the Xian Huang Qi is good, there is only one wisp. If it can be irrigated by a stick of incense, then my strength will become even more terrifying. With the stability of Xian Huang Qi, the Nanming dynasty will not be afraid of being coveted. Thinking of this, she then shook her head. With a ray of Xian Huang Qi, it can be stable. I can't be too greedy. Being able to obtain this kind of great fortune is something I can only dream of. After gathering his thoughts, Xiao Qingyun looked towards the sky. If there is something above the sky. Thinking of this, Xiao Qingyun jumped up and headed towards the sky with her graceful body. With this black and yellow energy entering her body, she can now temporarily ignore the pressure of heaven in this world. Just after Xiao Qingyun thought that he was completely free from the pressure of heaven. Flying in mid-air, she suddenly felt the pressure of heaven. Xiao Qingyun naturally knows what kind of place the prehistoric world is. Therefore, the moment this pressure came, he no longer chose to resist. At this time, she was in mid-air, although she had not yet reached the sky. But he can also see the entire prehistoric land clearly. This height is impossible for even Xiao Tianyun to climb. At this moment, Xiao Qingyun felt a faint purple aura. That breath contains the spirit of the Great Avenue. In the dark, the true spirit is in harmony with heaven and earth, and every move is reflected by heaven and man. When he opened his eyes again, he saw a rich purple aura surrounding his eyes. Hongmeng Qi, Xiao Qingyun exclaimed. What was surprising was that the Hongmeng Qi was distributed by the ancestor Hongjun and assigned to the 6 saints under his command. Sighing, there was only a wisp of Hongmeng Qi surrounding her. The moment this purple energy appeared, Xiao Qingyun felt his own changes. The head of the family once said that the Hongmeng purple Qi is transformed from the purest Qi between heaven and earth. It contains the laws of heaven and earth and is the foundation of sanctification. Unfortunately, this secret realm is only a one-time use. Just one wisp can make an ordinary soul without any Taoism or practice have unlimited lifespan. The young Emperor Mozi has been in seclusion for more than 1,000,000 years and will be released soon. By then, there will be another fierce battle. Afterwards, he stopped talking and directly began to devour the power of flames. There is the majesty of the purple energy traveling 30,000 miles from the east, which means that my true spirit has been connected to the Great Road. Not to mention the aura of the great path exuded by those powerful people when they realize breakthroughs. The fire of nirvana, the phoenix bathes in the fire, and is reborn in nirvana. Now, as long as he breaks through the shackles, he can compete with Xiao Tianyun in his future cultivation. Now that I already have Xian Huang Qi and Hongmeng Purple Qi, I can't be greedy for more. All of them were of great help to their cultivation. Although the innate spiritual energy is not that abundant, it is the most essence. Moreover, after this exploration of the secret realm, he, Samsara, Mutian, and Tathagata will all enter seclusion. The prehistoric times at this time can be described as a chaotic dance of demons. From the moment he saw Yuan Feng's rebirth from nirvana, Xiao Yan decided to come here to look for it. This time, several big opportunities for the Dao Demon War were found by a few of them. Even the other geniuses of the Xiao family have received great opportunities, although they are not as good as these people. Not only in terms of combat effectiveness and cultivation, but even the spiritual level has been sublimated. At this moment, my understanding of the power of flames has reached a gorgeous sublimation. At almost this time, Xiao Junlin, Xiao Jamian, and Xiao Yanyao also received wonderful opportunities. The spiritual power of Yuan Feng's nirvana instantly poured into his sea of consciousness. And with an immortal body, given time, it may not be impossible to achieve success in practice, so it is also called the foundation of the Great Road. Xiao Xian looked at the opportunities of these talented sons and showed a satisfied smile. Sure enough, the son of a genius who has the template of the protagonist is amazing in terms of perception and luck. The Xiao family's genius combat effectiveness will soar qualitatively. Fire of Nirvana. Xiao Yan came to the place where Yuan Feng was born, looked at the flame with the aura of nirvana and rebirth in front of him, and murmured. Sure enough, after careful searching, he finally found the flame. Xiao Xian looked far into the sky. What I have to do now is to absorb this Hongmeng energy. If I hadn't done it deliberately, This is why he chose to take 6,000 people into the secret realm. As long as you can get a glimpse of it, your improvement in cultivation will be limitless. But it is unmatched by others, after this exploration of the secret realm. Just kill any of these spiritual beasts and other birds and beasts. If you can enter permanently, it will be a stepping stone for the Xiao family. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 257. When Xiao Xian's voice rang in everyone's ears, the hearts of everyone in the Xiao family were suddenly filled with reluctance and regret. This time's exploration of the secret realm has greatly improved their cultivation and combat effectiveness. We even got a lot of miraculous medicines and magical weapons. If they can continue to practice here, their cultivation will be improved beyond the reach of their peers. Therefore, everyone wasted no time in searching, not wanting to miss any corner. Before leaving, everyone in the Xiao family looked at this vast land reluctantly. I don't know when the next opportunity to explore a secret place like this will be. Xiao Xian looked calmly at the fragmented scene in front of him. The scene of the battle between Hung Jundaozu and Luohu demon ancestor appeared in his mind. The immortal killing sword formation is obviously a clan protecting formation rewarded by the system. Why does he have such a strong sense of familiarity? It's like, that's my own thing. Later, these fragments gradually disappeared into his body. At the same time, the mechanical sound of the system sounded in his mind. Ding. The exploration of the secret realm is completed and rewards are being distributed to the host. Ding. Rewards the Chaos Realm, and obtains 1 drop each of True Dragon, Yuan Feng, and Shi Kailan Essence and Blood. Understand the Nirvana and Rebirth Realm of Sword Intent, and obtain the 4 swords of the Xuxian Sword Formation and a wisp of rich black and yellow energy. Chaos Realm. In the Chaos Realm, the host's attack power is doubled, combat power increased 5 times. The essence and blood of True Dragon, Yuan Feng, and Shi Kailan, fused into one's own body to forge the physical body. Improve your combat ability and fuse weapons to increase your attack power tenfold. Sword Intent Nirvana Rebirth Domain, contains the meaning of the phoenix reborn from the fire. When the sword intent comes out, the realm appears. Within the field, 10 enemies can be attacked at the same time, and the attack power of the sword energy is doubled. 4 swords of the Xuxian Sword Formation, Xuxian Sword, Killing Immortal Sword, Trapping Immortal Sword, and Absolute Immortal Sword. The 4 swords came out, and the Xuxian Sword Formation appeared. The full strength of the Xuxian Sword Formation requires the host to transcend before it can be used. Xian Huang Qi, pure and rich Xian Huang Qi can stabilize the world and cannot be used on the host itself. Taking a deep breath, Xiao Xian's magic power accumulated to quasi-immortal 70,000 years. The terrifying momentum spans the ages. Shake the stars. But hidden by the system, his strength still remained at the 6th level of the titled Great Emperor. Everyone in the Xiao family naturally felt this change, and their combat power became more terrifying. But his cultivation level has not improved, and he is filled with doubts. Therefore, he turned his attention to Xiao Xian, trying to find any clues from him. But this look made them feel like they were falling into an abyss, and the unknown fear enveloped them. If Xiao Xian hadn't restrained his aura, they might have had their souls imprisoned. Everyone in the Xiao family felt more in awe of Xiao Xian, and at the same time they were more curious about who his true identity was. Xiao Xian didn't pay much attention to it, but used the essence and blood of Zilong, Yuan Feng, and Kailan. After tapping into Xiao Qingyun, Xiao Yan, and Xiao Yanyao respectively, these drops of essence and blood were most consistent with the techniques they practiced. Then the black and yellow energy was injected into Xiao Qingyun's sea of consciousness. In an instant, Xiao Qingyun felt that countless vitality was poured into his limbs. Then he cupped his fists and saluted, "Thank you very much, Master." With this rich black and yellow aura, she can not only stabilize the foundation of the Nanming dynasty. You can also take this opportunity to develop yourself into an immortal golden body. After doing all this, Xiao Xian went to Wenjian Valley to enter seclusion and practice. Also leaving with him were Samsara, Mushin, and Tathagata. Everyone in the Xiao family gained a lot this time, and they all left one by one after Xiao Xian left. In order to continue to digest the opportunities and insights brought about by this exploration of the secret realm. Time flies, and hundreds of years pass by in a flash. There was a roar from the sky, and the terrifying sound shook the sky for eternity. It makes people fearful. All the beings in the world raised their heads and looked towards the sky. This vision attracted the attention of all creatures in the heavens. Even the ancient powers checked it out. Above the boundless sky, a golden light flickered continuously. The terrifying power overwhelms all directions and is intimidating. The next moment, a huge golden picture appeared in front of you. In the picture, a man in black robe is walking forward. In front of him was a thick fog that was boundless and invisible. What hit him was an ethereal aura. It's the Demon King. He has broken through the title of Great Emperor. He has successfully broken through the immortal. Oh my God, the young Emperor of Devil only broke through the title of Great Emperor for 1,000,000 years, but he actually broke through to quasi-immortal. This kind of strength is really terrifying. That's not necessarily the case. Those who can be criticized by heaven are truly strong. Not to mention that the demon immortal young emperor has made a breakthrough now, unless the family head, Samsara, Mutian, and Tathagata appear at the same time. Tiandao Review. Brother Tianyun clan, now the demonic immortal young emperor has broken through to quasi-immortal, and the head of the family is still in seclusion. The picture of heavenly Dao disappeared, but the beings in the world were completely boiling. I never thought that I would be able to see a quasi-immortal breakthrough in my lifetime. It is said that the demon emperor and the Xiao family have been feuding for many years. Once they break through, they may go to the Xiao family to seek revenge. The demon emperor's young emperor is truly terrifying. Otherwise, it will be really difficult for the Xiao family to get through this. Immediately afterwards, the young emperor Mozi walked towards the thick fog. Alas, even if the three parties gather together, we are no match for the demonic immortal young emperor. At the bottom of the screen, a line of deed-shaped text appeared. Xiao Xian is just a poor man who failed to break through. No matter how powerful he is still no match for the demonic immortal young emperor. With our strength, even if we practice combined attack skills, we are definitely no match for him. Devil Fairy Young Emperor. If the demonic immortal young emperor really comes to trouble them, let alone the Xiao family. Even Samsara, Mutian, and Tathagata are all in retreat. But now Xiao Xian has been practicing in seclusion for 100 years. One is detachment, the other is fall. The demon emperor, the young emperor, is a strong man, causing strange phenomena in the world. Just one demon clan needs the gathering of three forces to have any chance of defeating it. Quasi-immortal shackles, a strong person can cause strange phenomena in the world and make the sky tremble, the invincible. After saying this, the picture of heaven disappeared in front of his eyes. Even the Xiao family was boiling at this moment. All the beings in the world recognized the figure of the demon sun emperor at a glance. Xiao Tianyuan, Xiao Jiangxin, Xiao Yan, and other talented people looked at Tiandao's comments on the demon immortal young emperor. Comments on the demon emperor young emperor appeared on the Tiandao screen, and countless people were shocked. Even if the three forces gathered together, it would not be enough to kill the demon immortal young emperor alone. Yes, we should think of a way. We can't just sit back and wait for death. If it were before, they might not take it to heart. Is there really no way to do it? Xiao Yan said angrily. There was an extremely rare frown expression on his face. Xiao Jiangxin's eyes were full of murderous intent, and he looked determined. Even if my body is broken into pieces, I will fight against those who offended the Xiao family. It can make the auspicious clouds come and be full of vitality. Even the heavens will be taboo about 3 points. At that time, the eyes of the heavens will be sent to investigate. The head of the Xiao family has the strength to kill a quasi-immortal. Even if the demon immortal young emperor has outstanding strength, he may not be Xiao Xian's opponent. Xiao Tianyuan couldn't help but shake his head. It wasn't that he was exaggerating the opponent's strength. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 258. For a time, everyone in the Xiao family was discussing it. On the side, Xiao Tianyuan fell into silence. There was a look of helplessness in his eyes. Obviously, the demonic immortal young emperor's breakthrough is not for them at this stage. It is undoubtedly a disaster. Even though they are talented people, they still feel a sense of powerlessness. Even though they can be far ahead among the geniuses at the same level, and even kill them beyond a level. But quasi-immortality is an unattainable realm. Even one look from him can shatter them into pieces. Not to mention fighting against it. The horror of immortality is beyond their imagination. Seeing the looks in everyone's eyes, Xiao Tianyuan retracted his thoughts. Okay, don't be anxious, everyone. The demonic immortal young emperor has just made a breakthrough now. I think there are still many things that need to be sorted out. I just happened to take this opportunity to increase my practice. Even if I die, I will give my master a chance to make a breakthrough. Having said this, he glanced at everyone. Now the head of the family is breaking through the critical barrier. Don't interrupt unless it's an urgent matter. Although the demon immortal young emperor is powerful, the children of the Xiao family are not soft persimmons. The great emperor Samsara, the great emperor Mushin, and the great Tathagata are even preparing to break through to the quasi-immortal. At such a critical moment, they cannot disturb their thoughts. Even if the demons invade by then. We should also fight for opportunities for them. As long as the head of the family and others are here, the Xiao family will not die. I will obey the instructions of the acting patriarch. Everyone in the Xiao family quickly saluted and obeyed Xiao Tianyuan's words. Nodding, Xiao Tianyuan looked at all the Xiao family members. Okay, from now on. Let the Xiao family members who are outside retreat and start to focus on training, striving to defeat the enemy when the demons invade. Let your cultivation and combat effectiveness break through to a commanding height. Yes. As Xiao Tianyuan's words were conveyed, the entire Xiao family immediately took action. A large number of resources were distributed, but most of them were directed towards Xiao Jiangxin and other talented people. Because at the most critical moment, they need to use their lives to create a way for the rest of the Xiao family to survive. The rest of the Xiao family knew what they were thinking the moment they saw the resource tilt. Although they didn't speak a word, they all understood each other and it was a critical moment of life and death. Escort Xiao Tianyuan, Xiao Jiangxin, and others to retreat. As long as they are here, the Xiao family will return to its peak. In the battle between Dao and Demon, they all saw everything Zilong did for future generations. We are all members of the Xiao family, and we are both prosperous and devastated. Their talents were poor and they would not regret dying, but Xiao Tianyuan and the others were different. Even if the Xiao family is really gone, under their leadership, it won't be long before it rises again. But they are different. Even if they want to take revenge, they will be powerless. And Xiao Xian also felt the crisis this time. I saw him slowly opening his eyes, and a sharp edge burst out from his eyes. Then the cold voice of the system sounded in his mind. Ding! It was detected that the Demon King, the Demon Son, had broken through to become a quasi-immortal. The Xiao family and the demons had been feuding for tens of millions of years. It has reached a point where water and fire are incompatible, and one of them will perish. Ding! Large-scale tasks are released: kill the demon immortal young emperor and destroy the demon clan. Complete the tasks to get generous rewards. The genius of the Xiao family can also obtain a body forged by the essence and blood of the demonic immortal young emperor. All the geniuses of the Xiao family who participated in the demon-slaying battle. Everyone can get the corresponding luck among the demon clan. Please host to help the children of the Xiao family improve their strength. Hearing this, a glimmer of light flashed directly in Xiao Xian's eyes. The corner of his mouth showed a trace of pride, now the strength of the Xiao family and the demon clan. It can be said that they are evenly matched. Originally, he was not very interested in the demon immortal young emperor's breakthrough. But the system has already sent out such an alluring temptation, and he can't help it even if he doesn't move. There are not many opportunities for advancement like this. Xiao Tianyuan, Xiao Jiangxin, and others must get a share of the pie. There are not many quasi-immortals in the heavens. The 4 quasi-immortals from last time have all been refined into weapons and elixirs. Although a lot of quasi-immortal essence and blood have been extracted, with the current strength of the Xiao family's genius, he still couldn't accept such a terrifying body forged by essence and blood. Now that the system has released a mission, how could he miss such an excellent opportunity? This is what Xiao Xian is thinking at this time. He has confidence in the strength of Xiao Tianyuan and others. With this exploration of the secret realm, the combat effectiveness of the Xiao family's geniuses has also improved a lot. In addition, the magic weapon brought out from inside can also be used in this demon-slaying battle. And he can also take this opportunity to give some guidance to those boys. It can be said to be an excellent opportunity to teach students in accordance with their aptitude. The more Xiao Xian thought about it, the more beautiful it became. It's time to break through to the 4th level of quasi-immortal. I don't know how terrifying my strength will be by then. Xiao Xian's eyes moved slightly, and then he started his practice directly. For a time, the entire surface of his body was undergoing drastic changes. Endless energy burst out from his body. The terrifying power of chaos surrounds the whole body, and the Tathagata's Dharma behind him has completely advanced to the Pangu Dharma. If you look carefully, you will find that Pangu's appearance is also quietly changing. At this moment, because of the demon immortal young emperor's breakthrough, the demon clan was also in endless cheers. The entire demon tribe was singing and dancing, and even some demon tribes began to show their kindness to the demon tribe. Let's not talk about the distance, let's talk about the Weasel clan on the critical edge of the devil world. He has always been wandering among various sects and family forces. Now, as soon as the demon immortal young emperor breaks through, the leader of the Weasel clan goes to the demon clan with generous gifts. In his hand were 3 drops of blood essence of the titled emperor, followed by the Weasel disciple. He even wore armor and swords that were only possessed by the peak-titled emperor. And he erupted with a terrifying aura that belonged to a half-step quasi-immortal. However, the expected scene of being enthusiastically received by the demon soldiers did not appear. Instead, he was left in the cold at the critical point of the demon world for 10 years. But even so, the Weasel clan leader did not dare to have any dissatisfaction. Finally, a demon soldier came to entertain him, just as he walked towards them with a smile on his face. Only then did I realize that the demon soldiers were actually the lowest kind. The leader of the Weasel clan finally couldn't help but burst out, "Do you know who this emperor is? He only sent you to entertain me." However, the demon soldier looked at him extremely arrogantly, now that the demon immortal young emperor has broken through to the quasi-immortal. "There are countless people coming to flatter me. If you don't want me to receive you, just go to the back and queue up." As he said that he was going to drive him away, the leader of the Weasel clan immediately wanted to kill him on the spot. However, the demon immortal young emperor is one of the few quasi-immortals in the world, so if we do anything on his territory, it would be a pity for him to die, but it would be a pity for the Weasel clan behind him. If I hadn't come here to seek advice from the demon immortal young emperor, how could I be so angry with this coward? I have been a half-step quasi-immortal for millions of years, but I have been unable to comprehend the quasi-immortal enlightenment. The demonic immortal young emperor was rated as a strong person by heavenly Deo. If he could get a comment from him, maybe I can transcend the immortal. By then, the demons snored. Just ants. The leader of the Weasel clan was angry in his heart, but his face was calm. Then he grabbed the demon soldier and said, "I blame you for being so eager to see me that I disturbed my little brother. I will give you this realm-breaking pill as compensation." You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 259. When the demon soldier saw this, he couldn't help but smile. In that case, I would like to thank Clan Chief Huang. No, I have to ask you to take me to visit the demon immortal young emperor. I hope you can give me a nice word by then. The Weasel clan leader's words deeply touched the little demon soldier's heart, but he was not a high-ranking figure. At most, it was just to show him the way. As for any kind words, he, the demon soldiers all looked the same. What can you do to me? She didn't say anything at that moment, but just let him in with a smile. After entering the inner door, he retreated directly and was greeted by another little demon soldier. How could the Weasel clan leader know that he would encounter such things when he came here this time? Therefore, he didn't even dare to take out the realm-breaking pill, which was because he was stingy. The main reason is that the breaking realm pill contains some toxins unique to the Weasel race. Not to mention the demons, even if you encounter the Weasel race, you need someone with advanced skills to crack it. At the same time, the demon immortal young emperor officially came out of seclusion, and he was greeted by a group of high-ranking members of the demon clan. 2 of them are still pseudo-immortals, and behind them stand the 8 elders who are half-step to quasi-immortal. Next are the high-level personnel with the title of Great Emperor, followed closely by hundreds of powerful people in the Great Emperor realm. Congratulations to the demon immortal for breaking through to the quasi-immortal. May the demon fairy live forever and ever. The 2 pseudo-immortals saluted the demon immortal young emperor. All the demon clan members behind him also followed suit and saluted. Seeing this, the demon immortal young emperor looked at everyone and nodded with satisfaction. Everyone, get up. Now that I have broken through to the level of quasi-immortal, I will definitely not treat you badly. Then he looked at the half-step titled emperors behind the 2 pseudo-immortals. You 2 are already at the level of half-step quasi-immortal. After I stabilize, I will help you 2 break through to quasi-immortal. When the 2 people heard this, they were immediately overjoyed and hurriedly stepped forward to thank you demon fairy. Seeing this, the 2 pseudo-immortals looked at each other. Devil immortal, the leader of the Weasel clan, has been waiting in the cave for a long time. The demonic immortal young emperor smiled faintly. The Weasels are the most petty. Millions of years ago, I am still at odds with the demons, but now I have taken the initiative to turn the conflict into friendship. In terms of calculations, I am not as good as him after all. After the demon immortal young emperor finished speaking, a terrifying pressure of immortality erupted from his body. One of the pseudo-immortals took a step forward. I will kill him now. Seeing this, the demon immortal young emperor smiled faintly. Don't worry, I still have something for him to do. Although everyone was puzzled, they did not dare to disobey him. At the same time, the leader of the Weasel clan who was waiting in the cave suddenly felt a pressure coming on him. It was as if tens of millions of tons of boulders were pressing down on him, making him unable to move. He hurriedly saluted to the first person. Welcome to the demon immortal young emperor. I wish the young emperor eternal prosperity. As soon as he said this, the pressure on him disappeared instantly. Clan Chief Huang, I haven't seen you for a million years. Your cultivation level has improved greatly. The demonic immortal young emperor took the initiative to speak, which flattered clan chief Huang. If I hadn't been close to the border of the demon clan and been infected by the demon immortal young emperor's insights, I might still be stagnant at the same place. Hearing what Chief Huang said, the demon immortal young emperor laughed heartily. Obviously this flattery is on point. In this case, I will allow you to practice beside me. What do you think? Hearing the words of the demonic immortal young emperor, Patriarch Huang immediately beamed with joy. Thank you, Mr. Young Emperor. Being able to accompany you is my greatest wish in this life. As long as you don't despise me for being old and frail, I'll be willing to go through fire and water for you no matter what. What should have been done millions of years ago, but because you are practicing in seclusion. This has delayed me for many years, but now my wish has come true, I will have no regrets even if I die. The words of the Weasel clan leader were extremely beautiful. My good daughter, your father has been released from prison. I wonder if you are ready to face me. Come to think of it, he has become an emperor now. After withdrawing his thoughts, he looked at the Weasel clan leader. Now that I have made a breakthrough, the first thing I need to do is. Thinking of this, a trace of murderous intent flashed in his eyes. I summoned you here to discuss the attack on the Xiao family. Now, once he breaks through to quasi-immortal, his biggest enemy will be the Xiao family. In a million years, the size of the demon clan has grown even larger. Seeing this, the demon immortal young emperor waved his hand indifferently, signaling for him to leave. The demonic immortal young emperor only smiled faintly when he heard this, obviously not interested in his plan. Seeing this, the demon immortal young emperor couldn't help but smile with satisfaction. At that time, there were only a few quasi-immortals, you were one of them, and there was even more comment from heaven. Patriarch Huang rolled his eyes slightly, then took a step forward. When Patriarch Huang heard this, he was immediately horrified. I don't know which clan made you be so careful. Sure enough, he is a demon who has become a spirit, and his abacus is making a clanging sound. If you want to deal with the Xiao family, the current strength of the demon clan is still far from enough. After a while, all the senior members of the demon clan gathered here. Then he disappeared without a trace. With Xiao Xian's heaven-defying strength, it was impossible for him to be massacred in the heavens. And the talent of those unparalleled geniuses in the Xiao family is even more enviable. I am seeking revenge, but my enemy is so powerful that even if I break through to the quasi-immortal, I would not dare to act rashly. Then a secret sound sounded in the ears of the senior members of the demon clan. If he hadn't been so ugly and a little older, maybe he could have made him a son-in-law for him. As soon as he said this, he knew that he had made a mistake and did not wait for him to ask for mercy. With your resources, who else in the world today can rival you? Who dares to disrespect you? Transcendence only exists in legends. If there was true transcendence, the Emperor of Heaven would not have fallen. The demonic immortal young emperor smiled lightly. Although I am a quasi-immortal, there are still those who are transcendent above the quasi-immortal. Not only did the act of flattering him turn into a failure to appreciate his talent, but it also explained the reason why he didn't come until the young emperor made a breakthrough. I was afraid that I might say the wrong thing and make him unhappy. My lord demon immortal, spare your life. Spare your life. The era of heaven that dominates one side will not be disintegrated by the human slaughter alliance. Today's heavens. Therefore, having one more scapegoat would do no harm to him, so why not do it? Weasel is close to the border of the demon clan. If he really wanted to, why wait until now? The terrifying murderous intent that erupted from the demon immortal young emperor made the Weasel clan leader instantly panic. A million years is enough for him to develop his family into one of the top 10 families in the world. The demonic immortal young emperor had to admit that he was very happy to be flattered by the Weasel clan leader. A million years ago, Xiao Xian broke through the martial god and entered the heavens with the blessing of millions of years of magic power. The demon immortal young emperor looked at the demon soldiers calmly, his face full of evil aura. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 260. When everyone heard this, their emotions suddenly became very high. The Xiao family has been the sworn enemy of the demon clan for millions of years, and they will never stop fighting. They have been waiting for this moment for 1,000,000 years. The head of the Xiao family, Xiao Xian, has repeatedly undermined the demon clan's plans. If not, why would they have developed to the scale they are today? The demonic immortal young emperor would not even know that he had just reached the level of quasi-immortal at this moment. Such a great hatred must be avenged. If the Xiao family doesn't shed a river of blood, the resentment in their hearts cannot be washed away. We are always waiting for the demon immortal to send us, and we swear to serve the demon immortal to the death. Seeing the demon fairy's face full of murderous intent, everyone said in unison, "Follow the demon fairy to the death. Swear to the death to serve the demon immortal." Seeing this, the demon immortal young emperor nodded lightly. "In that case, you should make good preparations and launch a war against it in 100 years. One of the pseudo-immortals heard this and took a step forward. "I have something to report." "Speak." The head of the Xiao family failed to break through to the quasi-immortal realm thousands of years ago. Not only did his cultivation level fall, but now he is locked in a closed door. The geniuses of the Xiao family all returned to their master's house 10 years ago, as if they were avoiding something. When the demon immortal young emperor heard this, he couldn't help but raise his eyebrows. "Is this true?" The pseudo-immortal raised his head and looked at him. Although he was ready, he was still unable to move due to the pressure of the demon immortal young emperor. Seeing this, the demon immortal young emperor applied a little pressure, and the pseudo-immortal lost an eye. "How can you blaspheme me? I want you to be useful to the demons, so I will only take one of your eyes. If there is a next time, your soul will be tortured by boundless flames forever." The words of the demon immortal young emperor made the pseudo-immortal kneel down in fear and beg for mercy. "How strong is Xiao Xian now?" demon immortal young emperor asked again. Reporting to the demon immortal, Xiao Xian is now the third level of heavenly cultivation of the titled Great Emperor, but he can kill quasi-immortals. Behead the quasi-immortal. The demonic immortal young emperor frowned slightly when he heard this. Obviously he was afraid of Xiao Xian's strength. Moreover, he is still a person who has lost his cultivation level. If he breaks through to quasi-immortal, I'm afraid there are few opponents among the quasi-immortals. Seeing the demon immortal young emperor like this, the pseudo-immortal who had one of his eyes gouged out stepped forward again. Reporting to the demon immortal young emperor, according to reliable information, Xiao Xian is currently practicing in seclusion. The Xiao family prodigy with the highest cultivation level is only the 6th level of Great Emperor. Except for Xiao Xian, there is no titled Great Emperor in the family. Now Xiao Xian is practicing in seclusion, presumably to break through to the realm of the titled Emperor. With his qualifications, if we want to reach the peak again, it is still impossible. I think we can take this opportunity to go to attack the Xiao family. No matter how powerful the Xiao family's genius is, they will not be able to escape from your position. Xiao Xian loves the younger generations very much, especially those talented younger ones. If you can torture those younger generations to death, it is also a way to take revenge on him. At that time, even if he comes out of seclusion, his strength will not be as good as yours, the demon immortal young emperor. Even if he fights to the death, he will be nothing more than the soul of your subordinates. In this way, your blood feud will be avenged. The humiliation of the demon clan has been wiped away. Hearing his words, the demon immortal young emperor suddenly laughed heartily. Okay. Okay. Pass the order and attack the Xiao family with all your strength. The demon soldier who kills the number one child of the Xiao family will. You can get personal guidance from me. Not only that, this immortal can also help him break through to the immortal. As soon as these words came out, the entire demon world was boiling. Grunt the Xiao family. Grunt the Xiao family. Kill without mercy. Kill without mercy. The devil will last forever. At this time, the Xiao family is making an all-out breakthrough. Today's Xiao family is so rich in spiritual energy that it can make all the beings in the world boil. Even the children of the Xiao family who don't know how to practice are still trying to save their family. After sorting out the Xiao family's information, Xiao Jianfen knocked on Xiao Tianyun's door. Seeing him trying to break through his cultivation level as soon as possible, Xiao Jian's face showed a hint of unbearable sadness. It's just that now that there is a huge enemy, he is the only one who can take the lead. At this moment, Xiao Tianyun's voice sounded in his ears. Elder Xiao Jianfeng, we have no choice but to avoid the demon clan's invasion this time. We can only give the family master as much as possible. There are still 3 great emperors fighting for time to break through. If something unexpected happens, please also escort Xiao Jiangxin and his brothers away just like you escorted the head of the family. Then, without waiting for Xiao Jianfeng to speak, he entered into enlightenment again. Xiao Jianfeng hesitated to speak. That's what he thought, so why didn't Xiao Jiangxin and the others think the same way? Looking at the pills in his hand, he saw that they were all given to him. These children. When the demon immortal young emperor comes, I will risk my life. I will also escort you to Wenjian Valley. There is the blessing of the family master's sword formation there, which can keep you safe for a while. When the head of the family breaks through, you will be safe. Everyone in the Xiao family has different thoughts, but they work together. After Xiao Jianfeng left, Xiao Tianyun slowly opened his eyes. There was a bright light in his eyes, and the cultivation progress of the Xiao family members was displayed on the table. He recalled everything Xiao Xian did for the Xiao family when he faced life and death difficulties. Finally, he decided to go to the library pavilion to find out how to use the secret technique. When he came to the library again, his mentality was completely changed. The first time I entered the library was to find a technique that suited me. This time I entered in order to find a technique that could kill me with the quasi-immortal. If the demon immortal young emperor comes, he can also use secret techniques to give Xiao Jiangxin and the others a chance of survival. Uncle Xian, it's because Tianyun didn't work hard enough and his talent wasn't good enough. When faced with the difficulties of life and death, I can't be like you, protecting my tribe, protecting my family, and even looking for secrets. At the same time, the demon soldiers are getting ready to attack, waiting for the demon immortal young emperor's order. The demonic immortal young emperor looked at the Weasel clan leader who was making a breakthrough in front of him with a satisfied look on his face. He is worthy of being a peak expert with the title of Great Emperor who has been practicing for millions of years. Just by mentioning a few words, I felt the quasi-immortal mood. At this moment, he has directly broken through to the quasi-immortal realm. The demon immortal young emperor admires this Weasel clan leader very much. Assess the situation and be able to bend and stretch. Appreciation does not mean that he will reuse it. Even he will not reuse such a piece of grass. The reason why he helped him break through was just to make him his scapegoat when fighting Xiao Xian. However, he looked at the Weasel clan leader who was immersed in the joy of breakthrough, with arrogance in his eyebrows. Feeling cold in his heart, he then told him some words about the rewards he would get after destroying the Xiao family. In order to encourage him to do things for himself, he patted his shoulders and left. At this moment, the demon immortal young emperor injected a trace of his own spiritual power into his body. Hearing the words of the demonic immortal young emperor, the Weasel clan leader was even more delighted. Please rest assured, young emperor, I will definitely help you to destroy the Xiao family. The pseudo-immortal on the side also echoed, now the Xiao family is just at the end of its war effort. Xiao Xian even had no chance to break through to the immortal. Clan Chief Huang and his subordinates went together. Not to mention the genius of the Xiao family, even Xiao Xian will become our dead soul. Yes, apart from Xiao Xian, the strongest one is Xiao Tianyuan, followed by the Empress Xiao Qingyuan. As for Xiao Jiangxin, although he is a natural swordsman, he is not able to withstand the crushing force of his realm now. After all, the Xiao family is just a family with only the titled emperor in charge, and it can be destroyed easily.